Good morning, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get into the week's lessons. We're going to be doing some shapes here, okay? So just to refresh your memory on all the different types of shapes that we deal with, okay? So let's go talk about polygons and quadrilaterals. So you can go ahead. I'm just going to go right there, okay? Go ahead and copy the definitions down, and you can do the shapes as we go, okay? Press pause and come back when you're ready. All right, let's see. I think I'll do purple. All right. So what is a polygon? A polygon has 3 or more straight sides that can't have any curves, okay? It's closed, which means there's no, everything's connected, okay? And of course, the sides have to be straight. Sides cannot cross or anything. So a polygon is any shape that has 3 or more sides. The sides have to be straight, not curved. So a circle is not a polygon, okay? And none of your lines can cross each other, no intersecting lines, okay? That is a polygon. Then we have something called a regular polygon. A regular polygon is just a polygon that has everything equal. So if I have a square is a regular polygon. But if I have a pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if all the sides are the same length, that's what those little dashes are for, then that is a regular polygon. That means everything, all the sides are the exact same length, okay? That's what that means, all right? Now, let's go into the names, okay? Because they all do have names. Now, we've done the first one already. We did it last week, okay? So this one right here has 3 sides, okay? So this is a 3-sided figure. So I'm going to put here 3 sides, okay? And the 3-sided figure is called a triangle. Okay, but you knew that one, right? 3 sides is a triangle. So you see we have 3 straight sides. It's closed. There's no segments that overlap or anything, okay? So it is called a triangle. All right. Next, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4-sided figure. Okay. It has 4 sides. It has 4 vertices. Okay. And also 4 angles in there. It looks like a rectangle, but I want the bigger name for this, and that's the quadrilateral. Quad is a prefix for 4. So we have quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. Okay. So all 4-sided figures, your squares, your rectangles, your rhombuses, all of them, the main family they belong to is the quadrilateral family, okay? And we'll get into that family tree in a little bit, as you see down here, okay? Let's go to the next one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I kind of showed this to you over here. So this is a 5-sided figure. So it has 5 sides, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles, okay? A 5-sided figure is called a pentagon. Pentagon. Okay? Just like that. And it's any 5 sides. It doesn't have to look exactly like that. As long as it has 5 straight sides that are closed, we're good. Okay? Let's count this one. I'm going to start here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has 6 sides, and this is the one a lot of students get wrong. They get the 6 and the 7 flip-flopped. But a 6-sided figure is called a hexagon, okay? Hexagon. I like to remember the number 6 has an X in it, so hexagon has an X in it. You're going to see what happens with the 7-sided figure in a little bit, okay? So 6-sided figure is a hexagon. I'm going to go ahead and put a highlighter here so I can keep on going. I'm not going to draw any more pictures because they are harder to draw as you have more sides, okay? So let's go with this 7-sided. 7 sides. And like I was telling you before, the 7-sided figure is confused sometimes with the 6-sided figure. All right, but 6 is hexagon. 7 is called a heptagon. Heptagon. Okay, so if you notice here, it has the hepta, not the hexa. Okay, 6 has an X, hex has an X. Okay, and so the 7 is going to be the other one, which is the heptagon. All right, so that is any figure that has 7 straight sides that are closed. All right, everybody should know this one, the 8-sided figure. Okay, your 8 sides, think of your octopus, right? It has 8 tentacles and stuff. Think about your stop signs. So I know a lot of students, a lot of teachers like to remind you of the octopus, okay? So 8-sided is the octagon. The octagon, okay? Octagon, okay? And that is your 8-sided figure, is the octagon. We can keep going if we need to, okay? The 9-sided figure. See if anybody knows that one, you think? Let's see if you're right. The 9-sided figure is a nonagon. Nonagon. Did you get it right? Nonagon. How about our 10-sided figure? Anybody know that one? Decagon. Decagon. Okay? Now, sometimes people might not even know the correct term. I don't know what a 15-sided figure is called off the top of my head. So what they could do is, let's say I have a 15-sided figure. Okay, 15 sides. What they could do is just call it a 15-agon. A 15-agon. So technically I can call this a 7-agon, an 8-agon, a 9-agon, a 10-agon, okay? You get it? So you can just say out of 15-side figure, 15-agon, okay? The main ones you're going to be dealing with are pretty much all of these up into the decagon. You probably might be doing a dodecagon. That's a 12-sided figure. But usually it's going to be the top 10 here. Okay? All right, so have those. All right? Let's see. Now let's talk about the big family, the quadrilateral family. Okay? Now just draw it as you go. Don't try to draw everything. Okay? So start up here. Go ahead and write down quadrilateral family. And what's so special about the quadrilateral family? Well, it's 4 sides, okay? 4 angles. All quadrilaterals, all the ones we're going to be talking about here, total 360 degrees. And that is because all these quadrilaterals, if you look, are made up of 2 triangles. And as we know before, 1 triangle equals 180 degrees. Well, what does 2 triangles equal? 360, okay? But no matter what I do, all the quadrilaterals have 2 triangles, okay? So we can definitely say that all quadrilaterals have 360 degrees, add up to be 360 degrees, okay? And they have 4 sides. Now, there's 2 sides of the family, okay? So make sure you write this down, 360 degrees, quadrilateral, has 4 sides, okay? Now go off over here to the right, and let's draw this shape right here, okay? Now, you can always pause too. What do these little arrows here mean? Let me tell you. Let me draw my pen here. This symbol right here means parallel. Okay? It means this side, this top is parallel to this bottom. That's what it means. Okay? So the top and bottom are parallel. So when you see this symbol on a shape, it's just telling you that they're parallel. Okay? So this shape right here, my friends, is called a trapezoid, okay? Now, what makes a quadrilateral a trapezoid? It just has 1 pair, okay, of parallel sides. So only the top and bottom would be parallel. If I extend the segments on the side, they will eventually meet, okay? So the sides are not parallel, but the top and bottom are. So go ahead and write it down. Trapezoid. It only has 1 pair of parallel sides, only 1, okay? And that's called a trapezoid. Now let's go to the bigger family, okay? So this one just stayed single his whole life. Let's go over here, okay? This one had a big family, all right? Let's go ahead and draw it. It looks like a rectangle that has been slanted, okay? And as you draw your symbols, the top and bottom are parallel, so they're going to have one arrow each. That tells you that these two are parallel. And then my sides, I have two arrows. That means these two are parallel. They match up. It's like playing the matching game, okay? The other side that has two arrows is the side it's parallel to. So if these two extend, they will never touch, okay? So that's what your symbols mean here. And then this dash right here, if you remember, it means it's congruent to the other one dash over here. The two dashes over here, congruent to the two dashes on the left, okay? And this is called a parallelogram. I don't know if I put gram. It's a parallelogram, okay? Now, what makes a quadrilateral a parallelogram is that it has two pairs of parallel sides. The trapezoid only had one. The parallelogram has the top and bottom. There's one pair, and it has the sides. That's the second pair, okay? So any quadrilateral that has two pair of parallel sides is a parallelogram, okay? And it also has to have that opposite angles are equal. So that means the top and bottom are the exact same measurement, and the sides are the exact same measurement, okay? So that's a parallelogram. You can go ahead and write that down. Pause it if you need to. And now the parallelogram breaks out into a couple of more family members here, if you will, all right? So let's start off to the one on the right, okay? So just come over here off to the right. I do need this space over here, so try to leave that blank. Don't draw too big, okay? And this looks like a square that's been kicked, okay? Go ahead and draw it. And the only symbols you have are the dashes, okay? And if you remember what the dashes mean, the sides are all equal, okay? So this one is called a rhombus, okay? Now, what makes a quadrilateral a rhombus? Well, if you follow the tree, a rhombus has to have two pair of parallel sides. The top and bottom will never touch. The sides will never touch. Opposite sides are equal. But what makes it even more special than a parallelogram is all the sides are equal, okay? So not only do I have two pairs of parallel sides here, I also have four equal sides. So they're all the same, okay? So that's what makes a rhombus a rhombus. It is a quadrilateral. It is also a parallelogram, but the better name for this shape would be, or this figure would be a rhombus, okay? Go ahead and copy that down. And let's go to the next one. His brother over here, okay? You know this one, it's the rectangle, okay? So you're gonna have these little boxes here. Remember what those boxes mean? 90 degrees, good, okay? The dashes, here's one dash and one dash, that means those two are equal. Two dashes and two dashes, that means those two are congruent or equal, okay? So what makes a rectangle a rectangle? Well, start from the beginning. It has four sides, okay? And the angles add up to be 360. So far it's a quadrilateral. Follow the line. It is also a parallelogram. It has two pair of parallel sides, okay? So if I extend them out, they'll never touch, okay? Also, opposite sides are equal, okay? So this is also a parallelogram. But what makes it a rectangle is that it has four right angles, okay? So those four right angles right there make this a rectangle, okay? So if I have ever asked you a question, what classify this figure, classify this shape, then you can, and I would put A, quadrilateral, B, parallelogram, C, rectangle, D, all the above. You can put D, it's all the above. If I ask you what is the best name for this figure, you would have to put rectangle, okay? Even if I put A, quadrilateral, B, parallelogram, C, rectangle, D, rhombus, when they use the word best name, they want to know how far can you get down the family tree, okay? And for this figure, it would be a rectangle. Now, last one, let's talk about the perfect sibling, right? Everybody has that perfect sibling, right? Okay, so this one, we have all the dashes that everybody's equal. And not only that, but this one also has the perfect right angles, okay? It's the regular polygon. Okay, so what makes this shape a square? Let's go through the family. It has 4 sides, so it's a quadrilateral. It is also a parallelogram because it has 2 pairs of parallel sides and the opposite sides are equal. Guess what, guys? It's also a rectangle because it has 4 right angles. Go over here too. It's also a rhombus because all the sides are equal. But what makes this is that a square is that it not only does it have it has 4 right angles and it has all sides equal. It has both of these. Since it has both those characteristics, this one is called a square. Okay, that is our square. He's the perfect child, you know, the sibling that never gets in trouble. So that is the quadrilateral family. Now, like I told you before, quadrilaterals, what makes them special is that all the angles, all the 4 angles add up to be 360 degrees. So they could give you a missing angle and ask you to find what is the degree of the angle here that's missing. To do that, if I know all of this is 360, I can go ahead and write a little equation out because that's what equations are. Write down what you know. I know that if I add 63, or if I add x plus 63 plus 80 plus 50, because of the rule of quadrilaterals, I know it has to be 360 degrees, okay? Now it's a matter of just adding everything up, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and add up these 2 right here. So it's gonna be 3, 143. Okay, and let me always double check my math because sometimes my brain don't work very well. 143, yes, okay. And then let's add up the next 2. These 2 right here. 193. And now we have an equation. See, some number plus 193 equals 360. Well, how can I figure out that missing number? Do you remember? We do the opposite. So instead of adding 193, I'm going to subtract 193. Okay, and that's going to give us our answer. Watch. So let me do the math. That's 7, have to borrow. That's 6, and that's 1. I know it looks smaller than that, but I just made up the numbers, that's why. So that should be 167, okay? And I can check my work. Let me show you right here. If I were to add everything up, it has to total 360. So I'm gonna do 63 plus 80 plus 50 plus, now I'm saying x is 167, and it should equal 360, which it does. So that means we got our correct answer, okay? And that works for all quadrilaterals, not just the trapezoid, but for all of these here. Like for example, look at the square. If all of them are 90, 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, 90, 2, 3, 4, gets you 360, okay? And that's the rule of quadrilaterals, all right? So I'm gonna have you try some out. You're just gonna be naming them, see how you do on naming them and find the missing measure, okay? So right here, go ahead and press pause, try it out. Give me the name of that polygon and then find the missing angle here. Okay, so press pause and then come back when you're ready. All right, let's see how you did. Let's count the sides. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This has 7 sides. And if you remember, the 7-sided figure is called a heptagon. Okay, how'd you do that one? Don't put hexagon, it's a heptagon. Okay, and then for the missing angle, let's see. What are these? Did you get those? Don't forget those. That square means 90 degrees. Don't forget that. A lot of people tend to forget those, and we love to put those on tests, okay? So I need to go and do 90 plus 90 plus 70 plus some number is going to get me 360. Okay, so now I can do the math. 90 and 90, these two right here, will equal 180. Okay, then 180 and 70 is 250. And now that I know everything is 250, I can subtract 250 from 360. So just subtract 250 from 360, and your final answer comes out to be 110. And let's check our work. 110. There it goes. 110 plus 90 plus 90 plus 70, 360. 110. All right, guys. That's all I have for you for today. It's just the polygons and the quadrilaterals. Go ahead and make sure you check the Google form. Click submit when you're done. If you have any questions, come to the Google Meet and I'll answer them. Okay? Have a good day.